The galaxy is burning. Brother fights brother, and treason splits the Imperium of man. This is the age of darkness. Welcome to the Remembrancers retreat, coming to you from within the depths of the vengeful spirit.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Remembrancers Retreat podcast. My name is Jesse. I'm here today with Michael.
Hey.
And I'm also here with Will.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
So how's everybody's week going?
Pretty good. I had a great weekend. I know you talked to Ben on an episode previous to this about his event. Yeah, and that was real fun.
That was a good time.
I got to field the Ultramarines for the first time, technically, even though they were 50% Mechanicum. But yeah, I had to fill points, right? So I brought Brethren of Iron Ultramarines, and it was pretty fun. The Ultramarines Legion of Astartes rule goes good with Mechanicum stuff. You know, it's fun, and it's simple, and it just works.
Very cool.
In the words of Todd Howard, you know, it just works.
Mike, I believe you brought your Strike Force, your Hammerfall Strike Force.
Hammerfall Strike Force. Yeah, I brought almost the same list I brought last time I went muster, last edition. And back then I got tabled on turn 2 for all the games I played except for the one where I got tabled on turn 1.
Oh, okay, wow.
This year it went very differently, and I had 3 crushing victories.
Dang, for real?
Yeah.
Solid. Dude, that's so good.
I think you ended up tabling someone on turn 3 on your last game.
Yes, I did.
God. Jesse, how many games did you win for Loyalist?
I won 1.
You played one, right?
Yeah, I went this year. So as the year has gone by, I'll be honest, the game style I played back in first edition, I tried to retain as much as I did in second edition, and it's not working out for me. Most of my stuff was kind of like small elite units, kind of mostly assault based. I didn't do a lot of shooting outside of bolters, maybe a handful of things here and there with special weapons, interrupters and such. And in this new edition where, you know, mass amounts of infantry and mass amounts of firepower are king, I have not really been able to do much. So I decided, and Michael encouraged me to give this a shot, to try something a little bit different and try a Dreadwing list with my Dark Angels.
Okay.
So I didn't have a lot necessarily as far as destroyers, but I did manage to take a full 10-man Interrupter squadron for a troop choice. Took 2 10-man tacticals and threw them in Land Raiders, kind of an homage to my old school ways of gaming of putting everything in tanks. Let's see. In addition to that, what else did I take with that? Trying to remember off the top of my head.
I believe you had some sabers.
I had some sabers with some searchlights to try to like pinpoint things because I was expecting a lot of night fighting.
Sure.
And
as was I. Yeah.
And 2 5-man Volkite squadrons that I figured I would like kind of basically cover my bases, so to speak. And the first game went fairly well. I ended up winning, although we'll say the person was still fairly new to the game. So there were some things that kind of I was still being a little generous, but, you know, there were some things there that maybe I was just, you know, wanted to shoot some stuff off the table.
Yeah. Hey, we're here to have fun, right? At a certain point. I mean, I get you.
Yeah, I saw that guy's list, and at a certain point, if you're bringing a list like that, even if you're new, you lose the grace. You know?
There's the 3 telepathic psychers with 1,000 Suns army list. Trying to shut down all my reactions. It's like, okay, well, the Land Raider decides something different.
Land Raiders just vroom.
But I did manage to get my interrupters up into a 5-man Sekhmet Terminator's face and do a lot of damage.
Okay. Now those are the flame template ones now, right? They got changed to templates.
Yes,
Yeah.
Insurrectors. They in second edition they did turn them into plasma flamers, which we were all kind of expecting them in the first edition.
That's so cool.
Strength 6, breaching on a 4-up, and they do not get hot. So,
nasty.
which is really nice.
Oh,
and so they worked out pretty well. It's kind of because they're close combat. They do have rad grenades, which helps too, but
solid.
They're not quite geared for close combat. But
they have counterattack, right? Because they're a little bit like destroyers, right?
Yeah. They're effectively the Legion specific destroyers for the Dark Angels.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't they also have like leadership 9 or 10 and stubborn?
They do have stubborn, and their sergeant is leadership 9, and they're leadership 8.
And so, do they get wall of death with those flamers too?
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh man, just imagine like you either charge me or I charge you, but these flamers are coming at you regardless. You're gonna get rad grenades. It's so nasty.
And the nice thing,
can't confirm, very nasty.
Did you have to face them off?
Not this weekend, but I have before
in the past.
Earlier,
gotcha.
Yeah. When I was playing around with them a bit, I typically try to stay away from a 10-man squad, but I was also kind of like, I'm ready to try to, just win something once in a while.
I remember you were like, yeah, we're gonna ruin some power armor. Yeah, we're just gonna scorch some dudes today.
Yeah, that deployment was the corner one, the triangle one. I can't quite remember. What do they call it?
I don't know the nomenclature for it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the corner one, though.
The diagonal ones. So
you got to measure out.
Right. So unfortunately, the Dreadwing Right, which turns no man's land into all difficult terrain, didn't really come up too much.
Right. You probably had like a 12-inch or what was it? Maybe 2 feet, 12 inches.
Yeah, I haven't done geometry in a while, but I feel like roughly more than 50% of that map is deployment zones.
You're right. So. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely is.
But that's fine. Worked out pretty well. His Centurion managed to kill himself off by paralleling. So that was nice.
Sick. And, real smooth. Real great. Now, was that the mission? Or no, you said that was the first mission, right?
Right.
So, first mission. Well, I say that, listeners, because in the third mission, character kills counted for like big points. And I just wonder if you could nuke yourself and give yourself points in that sense. He just kills its own characters off.
I unfortunately I didn't end up playing the third one because I was just so mentally exhausted. I haven't played. Sure. I haven't played in a campaign in a while. Like even at Nova, I was running stuff, helping organizing. So I actually hadn't played a lot. But the second match, you couldn't ask for a worse matchup for me.
Right, because there was a buff for destroying vehicles, correct?
There was a buff for destroying vehicles, which about all but 2 of my 5-man Volkite squads were either vehicles or inside vehicles. I was playing Iron Warriors in a gunline list with autocannons, which with Rack and Ruin, their autocannons auto-pen Land Raiders on 6s, which is great. And we're playing the Hammer and Anvil, so the short ends. And the goal was to get to the opposite end, and he wasn't going anywhere. And I wasn't going to kick his ass from on my side because I didn't have the range. So it took all my will not to just concede at end of turn 2. I did end up conceding at the end of turn 3 because it was just brutal. Like about 80% of my units were massacred by the end of turn 2.
Yeah,
I was like,
I knew I was getting tabled.
I managed to take out 1 tactical squadron and a Contemptor Dreadnought, and that was it. Out of his stuff of 20. These were all 2,500 points, by the way.
Yeah,
you played 2 games and had 2 very rough armies you were going up against.
Plus, the heavy weapons squads which he had were 2 10-mans with
Tech Marines.
Tech Marines, yeah. So that's a buff that I feel like I remembered early on and decided that I wasn't going to do, but it's pretty damn effective, not going to lie.
Oh, yeah.
Because what is it, the Cognis Signum, right? Giving them the +1 to hit?
Yeah, or +1 to ballistic skill, I think. I'd have to double check. All I know is he was hitting on 2s with his las cannons, 10-man squadron. on my Land Raiders, it wasn't didn't feel great.
I thought an Iron Warrior who brought some sort of console who allowed the missiles to fire twice, or the heavy weapon squad to fire twice, but it got hot.
That's their That's the advanced reaction for,
Okay.
Iron Warriors. Yep.
Man, and these missile launchers just lit me the fuck up, dude. It's like they were from Iron Havocs at that. So, and they just decimated my Castellax. I just turn one. I was like, well, those guys are gone. Bye bye. Yeah,
yep,
rough.
It was
Iron
rough.
Warriors
I think it
are
ended
no
up,
joke.
No, they're extremely difficult, especially for mechanized armies that I used to play and tried to play because I still love my vehicles. Also, there was no night fighting in that mission.
Yeah.
These were custom missions. And that one did not have. It's like, oh, darn it.
Yeah,
I was kind of hoping for that.
The narrative of the battle was taking place over the period of the day. So the first game, the first 2 turns were night fighting, and then the rest of the game carries on its day. Second game is all day, and then by the third game, the last 2 turns of the game are night fighting.
Right.
So it takes place from dawn till dusk, sort of thing. Really cool narrative that I like. Yeah. At the end of the game of turn 3, like you start getting all these different your last couple of dudes are really hoping like, oh, I hope I'm 24 inches away. I really hope I hit this because now I'm -1 BS skill, and it really matters because I got to kill that dude off the objective, sort of thing.
Sure.
It was good. I like it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah, I feel like I've learned a few lessons from my games because still new edition, still learning. I'm definitely not a pro gamer, but one thing is, if your unit is like half damaged when they start taking shots, it's usually best not to worry about trying to return fire with them. Yep. Try to return fire with a full unit if possible.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I picked up this time.
For me, it was just fucking watch out for other Mechanicum, dude. Because the second dude I played, he fucking, if I recall, his name was Eric, and he's one of the locals there. And he just fucking decimated me. Like turn 2, I like somebody was like, "How's your game going?" I was like, "I'll be tabled by turn 3 for sure." So maybe by turn 2. But I ended up by somehow sticking it out till turn 5, not getting tabled, but losing.
Sure.
No, wait. No, at the very end I was tabled. I'm sorry. The last combat round, he killed off my last dude, and that was the final one in the game. Turn 2 or game 2 was fucking rough.
Gotcha. But overall, it was a fun time.
Loved it. Yeah.
We had dinner at a Mexican restaurant down the street, and that was all sorts of fun.
Yeah.
I had lunch at the restaurant there.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It was pretty good.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I think Ben had 16 tables, and all but one was full up on the first round because 2 people were actually sick. So it was a full house. For all intents and purposes, which was really cool. And near the end, when we were going to go out for dinner, we kind of assumed there was 7 of us, and then like 20 of us showed up.
Oh, dang! Yeah, wow.
But the restaurant was like, "Yeah, come on in." They were accommodating, so
wow,
it worked out pretty
excellent. Good. How was the food? Authentic? As authentic as you can get in Virginia, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
I do like Mexican food, so. Anyways.
It's really difficult to mess up Mexican food, It's good stuff. People eat Taco Bell and love it, okay? People eat Taco Bell and love it, all right? So, no.
Is that Chihuahua still alive? Please tell me that Chihuahua's still alive.
No, it has died.
Mother.
It has died.
Damn.
Yo quiero a new Chihuahua.
Okay, well, on that somber note, let's talk about Something that will kill all the enemies, Chihuahuas. The agents of the Divisio Assassinorum.
Oh, yeah.
Right. We're all here for
That for a segue.
Yeah, excellent.
Just jam that in.
Hold on, guys. I have to stop us, okay? Because we're on the subject of Chihuahuas, and I just found this out. And I think the listeners need to know, okay?
Oh, God. Here we go.
What do you think Chihuahuas were bred for?
Oh, no.
People think rat catchers, right?
I thought that was the case, but now I'm about to be really unpleasantly surprised, I think.
I'll let you take a guess.
All right, so not rat catching.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not being incredibly fucking annoying, I have no idea.
Watchdogs, I guess.
Food.
Oh
no!
They were bred for food.
Well,
Yeah.
Like
they were treated like chickens and just mass bred and just
wild.
Yeah.
I
was devastated when I heard this. I was like, those poor little creatures.
I mean, if there were any dog that, if I had to choose,
if you could deep fry any dog,
Jesus
which
Christ.
would be the easiest to do
I mean,
with,
the Chihuahua.
Right?
Okay.
Let's talk about assassins.
Okay.
Yeah.
A nice wholesome topic.
Yeah.
Agents of the Divisio Assassinorum. So, all right. So, we are in the Liber Imperium.
Starting on page 112.
Yep.
Following along at home.
111 has the cool little book art there.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's nice.
Shit.
Jesus.
We're good.
You okay? You okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's a big book. I just nearly dropped it.
All
right. So let's see.
Do you want me to get started with how you include an assassin in your army?
Yeah.
All right. It's really very simple. All the assassins are HQs. You stick them in there, you're good to go. They always count as distrusted.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are always distrusted allies, which is going to be very important going forward.
Okay.
This is going to be an ongoing theme. You might want to think about it while you're listening to the episode, because the big problem assassins have is they cannot join units because they are always distrusted.
Right.
So how do you stop them from taking 10 las cannon shots to the face on round 1?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, especially, I mean, this edition, there's no, you can only target characters if they're the closest model or sort of thing, Interesting.
They have some tools around it, but you're going to have to think about it.
So I guess banking on reactions, maybe? I don't know.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in the back of my mind, though.
Second thing you need to know is that all the assassins we are talking about today are loyalist only. Honestly, not sure why, but they are.
We by this time, we have seen the traitor assassin reveal from Warhammer community, right?
Correct.
Yes. So we know that there's probably going to be a Liber or, Liber Demonica or something to that effect, right?
Part
that
of me wonders,
traitor assassins? I don't know.
Or certainly something.
So part of me wonders, and guessing, because this book is Liber Imperium. It is the Forces of the Emperor army book.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we get something to the nature of like a trait, forces of the War Master, that we may see the same assassins with slightly different rules. And will fall under traitor or, either allegiance.
Right.
So something that struck me over the past year or so of really delving into the heresy, because I kind of started in a weird spot in Horus Heresy. I only started playing because it's what the narrative folks in town were playing. I didn't care at all about Space Marines fighting Space Marines.
If I recall, you were Lord of the Rings, right?
Lord of the Rings, long time ago. Before moving here, I was 40K. And when I first got here, I was focusing on Battlefleet because I had that ready to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
But having now read some of the books and all, I always knew that by the siege, there was a lot of warp fuckery going on. But Kelth was damn near the opening salvo. And there's demons all over the place there.
Yep.
Yes.
So it wouldn't surprise me if the Forces of the War Master book has assassins that are these clades, just with a little bit of warp fuckery going on.
Sure. I would definitely expect something like that.
I know a lot of people kind of theme their armies around Istvan and the very brutally mundane warfare that was.
Sure.
But 2 weeks later at Calf, it's demons everywhere. So
Right. Yeah.
They're ready. So
that did escalate quickly.
Very quickly. Let's see. Moving on through into the book, we talk about the tactics of Divisio Assassinorum. Despite their individual differences and specializations, the core of the battle doctrine of the Assassin Clades relies on the ability of the operative to strike from unseen position, to seize the initiative, and catch their target unawares. A critical part of any mission plan for an assassin is their exfiltration, lest they wish to face the full force of the foe they have struck out against. To represent this in play, any unit composed entirely of models with the Assassin unit subtype may make the Tactical Displacement advanced reaction. For Tactical Displacement, this advanced reaction may be made during the shooting phase, whenever an enemy unit targets a unit that is composed entirely of models with the Assassin unit subtype with a shooting attack. So it'll be when they shoot your assassin. The reacting unit may immediately move a distance in inches up to twice the majority initiative characteristic of the reacting unit. This move may be made
twice its initiative, pretty much, right? Okay.
Double its initiative. This move may be made in any direction and ignores all terrain or other effects that would limit or modify the distance moved, including allowing models in the reacting unit to move across impassable terrain. If, after moving, any models in the reacting unit are positioned out of range or line of sight of the unit that caused the reaction, that unit may not select another target for the shooting attack that triggered the reaction, and no dice are rolled. Weapons with the Gets Hot special rule do not need to roll to see if the weapon gets hot, and weapons with the one-use special rule are not considered to have been expended.
So basically, if using this reaction, you shunt your assassin such that it's no longer a valid attack, the unit doesn't get to pick another target to fire at. They just don't shoot.
Yeah.
Dude, can we talk about employing an assassin in Zone Mortalis being able to shunt through impassable terrain?
Well,
I feel like that's pretty good for the point cost that these guys are going to be, right?
It would be, except that advanced reactions are not allowed in ZM.
Well, there you go. All right. Balance built in, baby. Okay.
Something we should think about when looking at this reaction is the fact that most assassins have an initiative of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So we're talking 12, 10 inches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
of a movement from an advanced reaction. Cool.
Leap they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of your big tools for keeping your assassin alive.
And I'm sorry, is that a once per game thing or is that multi-use? It's once per game. Okay.
Although, you know what?
Is it?
The more I'm reading this, I don't see anything that says that limits it to a single time.
I mean, it would be at the beginning. It would say like once per battle during blah blah blah. If it doesn't say it, then yeah.
I'm not seeing it. So
you can use this every turn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
If you want to use a shooting reaction,
right?
It would still take
if you want to use a shooting reaction,
right? So if you bake in the idea that you're going to bring an assassin, you buy a warlord or you pick a warlord trait that gives you an extra shooting reaction. That way, you kind of have an extra one built in specifically for the assassin to use this every turn. Not a bad idea, folks.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think it's good synergy. But yeah, every turn, just tactical displacement. Shabow, shabow, shabow. Smoke clouds everywhere, folks.
Keeps them moving.
Yeah, that's actually like in any direction, 10 to 12 inches, assuming you want to give up that shooting reaction, which...
Sure. I mean,
giving up the return fire.
Paying 125 points for the model that these guys are going to be.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, at the very least, just completely shutting down a shooting attack from your enemy.
Sure.
How useful that reaction is, I think, is going to depend a lot on the terrain you're playing on.
It really is. That being said, 10 to 12 inches is usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Or at the very least, you can probably cut off at least, a good chunk of what they're shooting at, or the ones that are in line of sight. GoblinsHut.com is the distributor for the Dirty Down paint line and other hobby products in North America. Dirty Down liquid effects and aging sprays have been used by prop masters in TV and film for over 30 years to create incredible realistic-looking effects in a fast, reliable way. They can be spotted in some of your favorite media such as Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and Alien, just to name a few. That precision has now been brought to the miniature realm and is taking the hobby by storm. In the Dirty Down line, you'll find rust, moss, and verdigris effects unlike anything else on the market. With a vigorous shake and a mix of a bottle, a single wash creates the combined effects of multiple other paints and even provides a subtle texture. Dirty Down's entire line is also water-soluble, so you can achieve a wide variety of effects, entirely reworking, removing, or layering to your heart's content to achieve the perfect weathered look. With this capability, the line is perfect for speed painting while also having the depth for use for competition pieces. If you'd like to buy Dirty Down at a shop near you, ask your friendly local game store to go to goblinshut.com for information on stocking it. You can also purchase it direct as well. Also, all listeners of the Remembrancers Retreat can get a 5% discount on your online order with the promo code RR30K. And patrons of the Remembrancers Retreat get 15% off their orders. Once again, that's goblinshut.com, home of the Dirty Down liquid effects.
Before we move on, there are two things I want to mention. One, as Will mentioned, all of these guys are the same cost, hopefully, making the math real easy. They are all 125 points. Secondly, they all have the same piece of war gear, Panoply of the Assassin. This is their armor. It's 4-up with a 4-up invuln. Very straightforward.
Oh, just four ups across the board. Easy peasy.
4-up, 4-up. And with that, shall we jump into the first one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Which one is this?
So we got the Vindicare Assassin.
That's the old boy with the sniper rifle, right?
Yeah, the snake eyes of the group.
We know him.
Want me to take this one?
Sure.
All right.
Well, I guess he looks like Snake Eyes, but he's not. He's got a gun. Snake Eyes.
Talking about from G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Man. Anyways.
For my time.
Anyways. Come on, we all remember that terrible 2000s movie.
Clay Assassin.
Anyways.
Move 7. Weapon skill 4. Ballistic skill 8. Strength 4. Toughness 4. 2 wounds. Initiative 5. 3 attacks. Leadership 10. And that 4-up save I mentioned. So we're looking at roughly a Centurion equivalent for a little bit more than a Centurion. But let's get into the rest of it. Unit type is Character, Assassin, and Light. And we should have talked about the Assassin unit type right there, but since we didn't, I'll talk about it now.
Yeah, sounds good.
Models with the Assassin subtype ignore all movement penalties when moving or charging through terrain of any kind and automatically pass all dangerous terrain tests they are called upon to make.
Okay.
Models with the independent character special rule may not join a unit composed only of models with the Assassin subtype. Models with the Assassin subtype may not embark on any model with the transport subtype. Models with the Assassin subtype may never be selected as an army's warlord.
Okay. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? I think it all makes sense.
Yeah,
Very
effectively,
straightforward.
they get moved through cover effectively and just are on their own for the most part.
And you put them on the table.
Yep.
Nothing else. Well, that's not strictly true as we roll into our special rules, where we have Infiltrate and Scout, which are a little more complicated than just stick them on the table. Also Support Squad and Loyalist.
I wonder why Support Squad, if he already can't be the Warlord. I guess to make sure he can't even be the compulsory HQ. That's
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
You still need to take another HQ with him.
Because I have to double check. I mean, I always assume the HQ is the warlord, but is this edition? Does this require you to have an HQ unit as your warlord? Or is it any character model?
Well, this is an HQ. All assassins are HQ units.
This is kind of an off the wall question.
If I remember correctly, it does not strictly require it.
Mm-hmm. You just have to have, I believe, independent character to even get the warlord trait. I'll have to check that out.
Character to get the warlord trait.
Interesting. Okay.
Becomes very interesting with Huskarls. Because you can take them as the compulsory HQ, and then their sergeant can have a warlord trait. But we digress.
Yep.
Under war gear, we have the aforementioned panoply, along with the Trajector Auspex array, the Exodus rifle, and the Exodus pistol. That Auspex array means that when making a shooting attack, a model with this equipment ignores the effects of all special rules or war gear that would modify or limit the range and to hit rolls of any attack made by that model.
Wall hacks. This guy's got wall hacks. Is what this is. Okay, gotcha.
It's wall hacks and also fuck you, Alpha Legion.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah, I'm a better sniper than you, Exodus.
Don't know about that, but
yeah.
Moving on to the rifle, it is range 100 inches, which again will be very helpful for staying back and not getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
So with the usual board sizes, it'll only be so useful. The rifle is strength 7, AP 2, heavy 1, murder strike 5 up, rending 6 up, sniper. The pistol is 12 inches, strength 6, AP 4, pistol 3, breaching 6 up, sniper.
Can you refresh my memory? What does a sniper do this edition? Does that mean every 6 up he gets to pick a target?
No, every shot you pick the target.
Holy shit.
Yep. Every hit you land, you choose where it goes.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So it just gives precision shot then.
Yes.
Is that what it does?
It's precision shot, all shots.
Got it. Yeah. Sick. Okay.
Again, as a sidebar, I double-checked. Warlords, if possible, must be a character model from your and an HQ unit, from your primary detachment. And then there's a lot of lists of if not, then this, and this. But it's basically just about everybody has an HQ model in their detachment. So, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much at one is compulsory. So,
yeah. But yeah, so
what makes me sad about the Exodus rifle is that it doesn't have pinning.
Sure. You figure it would force pinning. And to represent the fact, I'm sorry, real quick, just because the idea being you kill off leadership should also have shell shock, I think, probably to affect, to represent that, oh shit, boss man's dead. We're a little bit scared now. Just my opinion, but
yeah.
Or it needs the brutal that Alpha Legion's Exodus gets.
Wait, Exodus has brutal on his rifle.
Exodus is actually good at killing characters.
Yikes. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
The Vindicator is going to be able to reliably pick off squad sergeants like no one's business. The problem is, who gives a shit?
You know what I noticed this weekend? No, never mind. Okay. Disregard.
Frankly, I'd rather take a Vigilator for I think it's 95 points. Still pick off squad sergeants and
nemesis bolt, right?
Yeah.
Pretty. Yeah.
If this guy could take on HQs,
then that Vindicator could Vigilator could join squads and stuff like that, right? There's a lot more that he could do than an assassin could. Hey, can you not chew the cable, my man? Please, good God.
Life with cats.
Oh my God, it is. Okay.
I'm also kind of sad that he, outside the pistol, which is pistol 3, which is nice, but it's such a short range.
Yeah.
It's either 12 inch with 3 shots.
Pistol, quote unquote, bracket thing where GW
And,
likes to make all pistols at short range.
And it's pretty underwhelming. Like, I like the pistol 3, but at breaching 6 up, sniper's cool.
AP4 base, though? I mean, why?
Sniper doesn't matter if you're not killing anything with it.
Yeah, why does it need to be AP4?
Yeah,
I just feel like it's an assassin.
I feel like I'd still just be single tapping with my Exodus rifle at that range. Just no scoping.
And as far as melee weapons go, he's got just the pistol.
Yep.
That close combat weapon goodness.
Yeah. Also, anyone worth killing is going to have invuln save.
Right. And so, they're only taking one save. It's a heavy one. It's not like, if you... Yeah, I mean, brutal. Not even like...
I do like the Murderous Strike.
Sure.
But...
You think that's what they're banking on, is the Murderous Strike portion?
Problem is it's a 5-up.
Mm-hmm.
I had so many Murderous Strikes saved this weekend. So...
At 1 in 3, it's... feels a little underwhelming.
You have a 1 in 3 chance of actually having a chance of killing someone important with this. And then they get their invul.
Oh, anything that's not a sergeant, like you said.
Yeah. It's anyone important.
Yep. The veteran sergeant's just going to laugh and just continue coming up to you.
You know what I would have been happy with? I'd be much happier with this gun if it was just strength 8.
So it could just double them out. If they did fail, it was...
Yeah.
At least you're instant killing Space Marines, right?
Anyone at P4 is at least getting doubled out.
Yeah, and it doesn't make Murderous Strike useless, because you could still use the instant death for other things too.
I'm just going to buy 2 of these guys, put them in either corner, and start shooting out dreadnoughts.
That's what I'm saying, right? With the Murderous Strike,
he's going to have to make a choice: go left or right.
Maybe
I get a 1 in 3 shot of taking out D3 wounds. And that's all I got for
300
for
points?
250 points?
Or Jesus Christ, why did I say 300?
Right,
I'm fucking stupid.
For 250 points, you could bring a dreadnought.
With some pretty sick upgrades.
Yeah, that would probably beat that other dreadnought to death.
Or some of the missile tanks that have proven rather effective against dreadnoughts.
Yeah. So, looking at this, would you have preferred to have seen cheaper or more power?
More power.
More power?
It's the Vindicator. It should be, cabin domes, and it just isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. He should kill a character a turn. He should effectively and I don't know how many points you want to make him for that, but I think he should effectively be killing a character per turn. Because from the narratives of everything, right?
Even if you could reliably kill a character in a game, I'd be fine with it. But right now, I think you're going to have plenty of games where he's not going to be killing, an independent character.
Right. Again, he'll get a sergeant or somebody like that.
Sergeants, apothecaries, he'll be killing all day.
Because that being said, there's a thing to be said about I would hate to lose like my. Because I want to make him too powerful, because I don't want to lose my Praetor first turn due to a sniper shot.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That would kind of suck, to be honest. Granted,
if somebody paid 300 points for that one shot to kill your 200-point model, would you feel a little better? I don't know. Me neither. I don't know.
There's some thoughts to that one.
Yeah.
But
and you're not wrong, and I think that's probably why his gun does suck. I just feel like there's got to be a way to do it. I don't know. Maybe even a -1 to invuln saves or something. But
didn't he used to have 3 different rounds? One was like an anti-tank round. One was like hey, this is really going to destroy an invul save round, and then another one was like a fragmentation, does a lot of damage round.
Maybe in 40K, because this is the first time we actually saw the Assassins in Heresy. I'm still kind of shocked we never did in the previous edition, but here we are.
Oh,
okay. So, pardon my ignorance. Then I was pulling that from 40K, not 30K stuff.
No good, no worries.
But I mean, hey, that was cool in 40K.
You still use the same model,
right? So, an idea there, I guess. Maybe different weapon profiles, different bullet types.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got the Clade Calexis Assassin. I'm assuming everyone's kind of done with the Vindicari.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've dog shit piled on that guy for long enough.
All right, the Calexis. He is rolling in at 125 points, like all of these guys are, at a movement 7, weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness of 4, 2 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, and a 4-up save. As a single assassin with the Animus Speculum, Ethereum, Psych Out Grenades, Panoply of the Assassin for that 4-up invuln. He has the Character, Assassin, Light, and Anathema unit types. I should say Infantry unit type, Character, Assassin, Light, and Anathema subtypes. Which, you got the Anathema on us?
I do not have it handy, but
Okay.
I do feel like we went over it in length in the Sororitas.
Right.
Right, it is Sisters of Silence, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's what it was. Hold on.
Oh, God, that is a huge block of text here, but I'll try to run through it real
long,
quick.
it's in depth. It's fear to your guys, it's fear to the other guys. It's super fear on demons.
It's bad for psychers and demons.
It's also not technically fear, so you don't get around it by being immune to fear. Yeah.
Okay.
It stacks with fear.
Solid rule and this dude is a...
It is... it is on page 129 for the subtype if you guys are interested. Or just check out our Sisters of Silence episode a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Looking at it, we have Infiltrate, Scout, Fear 2, which is pretty good. Adamantium Will on a 3-up, which is awesome.
Perfect.
Life Drain, Support Squad, and is a Loyalist. So the Ethereum War Gear, any shooting attacks at a target unit composed entirely of models with the special rule are made as snapshots. Any weapon that cannot fire snapshots cannot be used to make shooting attacks targeting a model with this special rule. That's pretty sick, and something that I kind of wish the Assassins had a little bit more of spread around.
Agreed.
We have the Animus Speculum, also a war gear weapon. It is a template, ranged, strength 4, AP 4. It is Assault 1, rending on a 6-up. It is Force and Size Shock, which checking, I believe...
Force is a thing that really fucks folks up, right?
Yes. Force, it doubles the power or doubles the strength of a weapon.
Before we get too deep on that, I want to mention that in the errata, Force got removed from that weapon because since the Calexis is not a Psyker, it can't use Force.
That's a good point.
Makes sense. Okay.
And,
Did they replace it with anything?
Nope.
They just cut it.
Got rid of Force.
Which is a shame because it's strength 4. And if it was Force, and so you could roll that psychic test to double its strength, that'd be something to talk about.
Gotcha.
It does have Size Shock.
What's Size Shock do? Is that the same thing as the Psych Out Grenades?
Yeah. It's if you inflict a wound with a Size Shock weapon against a Psyker or Demon, they suffer perils of the warp.
Roger. Okay, cool. That's less good without being able to double the strength. You're getting one shot at strength 4?
I mean, Size Shock is still good because you're still doing 1d3 just straight wounds, assuming...
Size Shock a hit, or do you have to wound the target?
I believe it's on wounds.
Okay.
But I've got it right here. Or, nope, that's Psycho. I do not have it right here. Shit. I'm finding it right now.
Yeah, don't tell me it's in the main rule book.
It is not.
Okay. Well, while you're looking up Size Shock, I'll
Wounds.
also... Yep.
It is on wounds.
On unsaved
and
wounds?
also only triggers once.
Okay. So an unsaved wound, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then there's Life Drain, which is a special rule, which I'm not sure how that necessarily works. It is no range, strength user, AP2, melee, Fleshbane, and Reaping Blow 1.
I think it's just a melee attack.
It's a special rule, so he's still using a melee weapon? It's not under war gear. He doesn't have a melee weapon.
I feel like it should be under war gear.
I think it's just under the wrong column.
I think so. Because
I try not to be too rough on the GW guys, but the assassin rules are kind of rough.
we'll say, so assuming that this is standard melee war gear, strength 4, AP 2, melee, fleshbane, reaping blow 1.
Mm-hmm.
Not terrible.
He's got three attacks base. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Potentially 4 in the charge. It would be effective for sure.
You look at this, and it has to be war gear. That's wild. Okay, that's unfortunate. And the FAQ you said didn't mention any adjustment on that particular thing.
Just removal of force on this profile.
Weird. Okay.
So my problem with the life drain is weapons go 4.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So I guess you bring him just for like a anti-psyker bubble, right?
So I'll tell you what I'm bringing him for, if I bring him.
Sure.
Fear 2 plus anathema means enemy units are sitting at a -3 leadership.
Okay. Solid.
-3 leadership.
And what, their demons are sitting at like a -5 or something at that point?
-4, I believe.
4? Okay.
And they're only snap shooting at this guy too.
Yeah. Gonna just walk this guy behind my unit of probably Sisters of Silence, so I'm not suffering from leadership debuff as well.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But not then guys on the other side are just gonna disappear because that's putting Marine sergeants down at leadership. What is it? 5?
5.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
they're just gonna win combat and they're gone.
Yeah.
Snap shooting at it, and if you decide that maybe you don't want to get snapshot at, you can still move 10 inches as a reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
This thing's damn near hard to hit.
There you go. He's definitely he's a debuff aura. Yeah, for sure. Very cool.
I don't know that it's worth 125 points, but it is doing something.
It's a fun unit.
Yeah. Especially in a list that, as you said, makes good use of the anathema rule, right? That can not take the debuff from it.
If you're running Sisters of Silence and aren't stacking Ex Oblivio on all 3 HQ slots, then this might be something to look into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I still like that idea of that Fear 2 12-inch bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or I guess technically 24-inch bubble. It's because it's 12 inches and 12 inches from the model.
Yeah, don't know what the nomenclature there would be, but yeah.
12-inch radius, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's pretty significant, especially as hard to hit as it is. And we know leadership is a massive, massive thing in this edition now.
The anathema leadership debuff is only 6 inches. So there's that, but still.
Okay, good.
You still got the fear, though.
Yeah.
And that's 12 inches.
Let me ask the anathema stuff. Is it always like going to be a minus debuff, or does Fearless stop you from taking the debuff from anathema? I can't remember.
So anathema is not fear. I don't have Fearless handy.
Pretty sure it's written similar to Stubborn, where it's immunity to all leadership modifiers.
I should have it right here. For Fearless, units with 1 or more models with the Fearless special rule automatically pass pinning, regroup, and morale checks. In addition, models with the Fearless special rule ignore the effects of the Fear special rule. However, units containing 1 or more models with the Fearless special rule cannot use any reactions that grant a cover save, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. If you're... it doesn't say anything necessarily about the anathema. But if anathema... I mean, if you're already automatically passing pinning, regroup, and morale checks, it doesn't say leadership checks. So,
some leadership checks could be modified if anathema modifies leadership.
I'm going to be honest. I'd have to look into it. I'd have to look into it a lot to be sure.
It would be a lot of case-by-case basis when that comes into play, I think. Yeehaw.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
You're good. If I was going to run a Calexis Assassin, I'd be reading all those special rules just to be sure.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's it then. You guys want to move on to the next one?
Sounds good.
And just for everybody, this model is the Calexis is the one who's got like the screaming face robot head thing, right?
And the big eyepiece thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the Animus Speculum.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
But next up is the Clade Calidus.
Oh, this is Blade Hand Lady.
Yep, Blade Hand Lady. Move 7, weapon skill 5, blitz skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks, leadership 10, and the 4-up save. Unit type, infantry character, assassin light. War gear, polymorphine, neural shredder, phase sword, and panoply of the assassin. Special rules are Reign of Confusion, Infiltrate, Scout, Support Squad, and Loyalist. Polymorphine is the fun thing here, but let me make sure nothing on this changed. Right.
They did change it, but I'm trying to see where.
I've got it up. So the errata changes the first sentence of polymorphine to a unit composed entirely of models with polymorphine may not be targeted for a shooting attack, charge, or reaction of any kind by an enemy unit as long as the unit with polymorphine has not made an attack of any kind during the battle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No range limitation.
Nope. Basically, they're polymorphed and look like a friendly.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. That being said, you can run this guy over.
Yeah. you could unfortunately ram them. That seems like an oversight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems kind of. Anyway, go ahead.
I've done it before against a what was it? A saboteur, right, Mike?
Yep.
Yeah, that poor little saboteur got tank shocked. Yeah.
And once a model of polymorphine has made an attack, including during a reaction, then it has no further effect.
Mm-hmm.
But it will help keep you alive initially. Reign of Confusion.
Pretty easily, yeah.
Yeah. This might be my favorite assassin purely because it'll stay alive long enough to do something.
Hopefully to at least get in combat, right? Yeah. You're right.
When rolling to seize initiative against a force that includes a model with a special rule, a successful result must be re-rolled.
Oh, man. That in itself, I think, is worth 125 points.
I don't know if I agree, but it is a fun little thing. You rolled that 6, you thought you were going to seize, and now you got to re-roll it.
That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. If you're
my guys, this and a recon company ally detachment, guaranteed turn 1. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If you're gearing up for an Alpha Strike army, this you probably really actually do want to take this.
Yeah.
Not that I would encourage anyone to take an Alpha Strike army, but yeah.
Well,
you're not wrong.
If it's just about 5 rules, baby, then gloves off.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm stealing his fun 5 rules though. That's good.
Yeah. I like that rule. That's pretty good. So far, she's a winner. That's for sure.
Honestly, I wish all the assassins had it.
Yeah.
Now, what's this next one? This neural shredder.
Yeah. Now we're getting into weaponry. We've seen how the Calidus is going to stay alive. Now, how is it going to do damage? Ranged weapon is a neural shredder. This is a template weapon. Strength 1, AP dash, pistol 1, rending 5 up, synaptic disruptor. Synaptic disruptor is, of course, the only thing you're getting with this. On a to-wound roll of 6 up, the target model automatically suffers a wound with no armor saves, invuln saves, or damage mitigation rolls allowed. This rule has no effect on models that do not have a toughness characteristic.
Gotcha.
So if you can roll a 6, it's great.
Yeah.
A template weapon.
Yeah.
You put it on a big squad right before you charge in. Not a bad move.
Not a good move either, though.
Yes, pistol. So it's assault. So once it makes it shot, what does it do in melee? What's it do in melee?
Well, it gets return fired and killed.
Okay.
I mean,
No, well, I guess it is a shooting attack. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
If it wasn't on a 6-up, this would be something interesting, but you're never going to use it unless you really want your assassin dead. But hey, maybe you can get in combat and do something.
Yeah.
So the phase sword, strength 3, AP 1, melee, rending 5-up, phase shift. Phase shift is on a to wound roll of 6+, the model automatically suffers a wound with no armor saves, invuln saves, or damage mitigation rolls allowed. And again, no effect on models that do not have a toughness.
That needing 6-up is rough again.
Particularly since it's strength 3.
And being base strength 3, not a plus or like... I get it's a wrist blade. Okay, I get that. And it's not going to kill a dreadnought, but...
It will. It is worse than not even a plus. It is, in fact, a minus.
Yeah.
You're right.
Calidus are strength 4.
Oh, what's going on?
Bro. Yeah.
But you got 4 attacks.
You got 4 attacks. Plus 5 on the charge. 5 attacks.
5s are going to rend. At least you have that. So you're getting, hopefully, 5s. And then, of course, 6s. So
yeah. Figure 2, 3 of your attacks hit. Half an attack gets that 6. And then you get smeared across concrete.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Solar Auxiliary are shaking in their boots, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Those little fucking dudes.
I mean, it shows a little picture. She's about to just go fucking...
Oh, look at that. You're
Spider-Man
right. In the
on this
art,
guy.
she is about to kill one of the honor guard grenadiers.
That is a really cool picture.
Yep.
I wish the rules made me at all interested in playing assassins.
Man, okay.
So, with that being said, how would you make this better? Because this,
I
despite
make the melee weapons do something.
Yeah,
I get the fact that it is supposed to be a wrist blade, right? Like the model, it is like a. So I understand the weaker strength, but I just feel like bring that phase shift down a bracket to maybe 50% of the time. I think 6 time.
Or if you don't want to do that, what you do is you let them reroll wounds against characters.
Oh, right. We rerolls. We haven't.
Yeah.
No preferred enemy or anything like that, right?
Nope.
Okay.
With the AP one, like she's not too worried about armor. The phase shift is nice, and frankly, all assassins should just have that. On a 6, the enemy doesn't get their invuln or an evade.
Wouldn't it be nice if all assassins had a phase dagger, quote unquote, that was this weapon profile, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be good, but then she would need something else. But I don't know. Then because immediately I'm thinking, oh, that neural shredder weapon was sick. Let's fucking shoot that, kill some dudes, and then charge in. But you're right. I'm gonna get fucking return fired, murdered, and never get to use my little wrist sword. Like, it's a bummer.
Well, no. So can't use a neural shredder without getting return.
As soon as you do, you open yourself up. You the most vulnerable you could be in the game.
Yeah, the Calidus can potentially damage rhinos and predators. Rhino chassis vehicles with the rending.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to crack open predators like a cold one with the Calidus, you're probably using it wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like like weapon skill 5 even I feel like isn't enough to keep her safe. Like I would see like, oh, maybe you throw her in against a dreadnought and she has a tough fight and tries to fish for 6s but can survive because she's got a high weapon skill. But no, she's weapon skill 5 and like Dread's hitting her on 4s. And he's smashing her as soon as he does, you know? Like,
Hey, she's got that 4-up invuln.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do to make them better.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different ways we can make them better.
Right.
And I just don't know what the best one is, but they need something.
Well,
yeah.
Hopefully we can see some additional options and stuff in the future.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe traders will get actually good assassins.
Maybe. Maybe they'll get copy pasted. Who knows?
In the meantime, I'd like to go ahead and do the next one, because this one I almost like.
Okay.
And there's a very specific reason for that. Because the Clade Evisor Assassin is not about killing characters. It's about killing everyone else.
Okay.
And I think it might actually be able to do that. Move 7, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 6, 3 attacks, 10 leadership, and the 4-up, 4-up. For war gear, we've got the Neuro Gauntlet, Power Sword, Executioner Pistol, Melta Bombs, and Panoply of the Assassin. The unit type is, again, Infantry, Character Assassin Light. Special rules: Counterattack 1, Friends on Rage 3, Biological Overload, Infiltrate, Scout, Support Squad, Loyalist.
This is the skull head with the poison machine gun pistol guy. Yeah,
Machine gun pistol
cool.
and the claw.
He's very cool.
All right. So
Grim and dark.
starting off with Biological Overload. When an Evisor is reduced to 0 wounds, it explodes. Every model, friend, and enemy within D6 suffers Strength 4, AP 3, Fleshbane hits.
Sick. Oh my god.
And they do count as hits with the shooting with the flame type. Salamanders players, take
Rejoice.
note. So when it inevitably dies, because it will.
Also, I'm sorry. It also makes note that shooting attacks, these count as shooting attacks, right? Which also means that Iron Hands, Legion Astartes works against this.
Oh, you're right.
Being Fleshbane ain't gonna matter. Still getting ya. Okay. Wow, that's a pretty good. I like that.
Right. Nice little thing. But now we get into the meat of what the Evisor is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs. Hard drugs.
Rock and roll music, engage.
Straight into the skull. Friends on Rage. At the start of the assault phase, a model with a special rule may choose to temporarily increase its attack's characteristic by the amount listed in the brackets until the end of the turn. When rolling to hit for a model that has its attack's characteristic increased in this manner, for each unmodified roll of a 1, the attacking model immediately suffers a wound unless an armor save can be made.
Cool.
Wounds inflicted in this matter do not count for the purposes of combat resolution. So basically, +3 attacks, but now you get hot.
Yeah. Wow. Good lord.
However, that does take him up to 6 attacks, 7 on the charge. And he has a pistol. So that's 8 on attacks on the charge.
Yeah, wicked, dude. Oh my god.
Now, what is he attacking with? Glad you asked. The Neuro Gauntlet. Range dash, of course, because it's a melee weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Strength user, so 4.
4, okay.
AP 3, respectable at shredding Marines. And it is melee, Fleshbane, shred, rending 6+.
Okay.
Yeah. With, as you said, 8 attacks on the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid.
Weapon skill 5. Weapon skill 5.
Yeah. He's going to just pop through a tactical squad, man.
Yep. And before I give my overall thoughts on this guy, I'm going to talk about his pistol, which you probably won't use, but it is there. It has 2 firing modes, bolt pistol, which is a bolt pistol, and a needle pistol, which is, range 12, strength 2, pistol 2, poison 3 up, pinning.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The pinning's nice, but
getting to pin, hopefully, I mean, again, this is one of those, like, if you're using your shooting thing, you're going to take return fire
most
reaction.
likely. Yeah.
So my one thought there is if you can bait your opponent into using all their shooting reactions elsewhere,
Sure.
it's then worth popping a needle pistol in there to try and pin the squad. Because then you don't take the overwatch when you charge in.
Yeah.
Fair.
But you know where I really want to use this guy? Zone Mortalis.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought.
Because you know what you don't have? You don't have return fire. You don't have overwatch.
Yeah.
And
You just
throw
have
this guy
one-
who is a squad, and he will blend them.
Yeah. And
Just have
that's another
one
thing.
Angry Skullboy.
He does not have any sort of buffs like the previous two assassins that he can take all the shooting. He's going to be shot off the table if he's not in ZM.
Yeah.
You can target this guy and everything like that, right?
Yeah. His only defense on the open battlefield is that reaction.
Because he doesn't have polymorphine or polymorphine or
Yeah.
Ethereum like the other one does. So.
Nor does he have 100-inch range to stay out of range of return fire.
Right. But in ZM, this boy, and look at that, even in the picture, what is it? It's him crawling through a fucking ZM board because he's about to go just shred some infiltrator dudes.
I'm not an expert on assassins, but my understanding is what the Evisaurs are for is when your target is in a hardened bunker and you can't get in with any of the other assassins, you send in an Evisaur, they go in loud, just kill everyone, and then explode.
Yeah. Man,
And
I
no
can't
one's
wait.
the wiser.
Yep.
I hope
What happened? I don't know.
Can't raise the alarm if they're all dead.
Yeah. I
There's no alarm left.
hope there is that scene in The End of the Death where they open the clades and they just unleash all the assassins in the Imperial Palace. I really want that scene where Malcador's just like, awaken the assassins, and then they're like, oh shit, and then they push the red button and then just thousands of assassins open from their sarcophagus
Just all
and start
Evisaurs.
murdering dudes.
An army of Evisaurs would be insane.
Whew.
But yeah.
Pretty cool model, pretty cool unit, very cool. And then we have the next dude, which is one of our newer models that we got from Forge World, right?
In fact, all of the remaining three will be some of the new ones.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to let someone else take the Adamus since it just did two in a row.
The Clade Adamus Assassin. He's 125 points. He has a movement skill of 7, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill, strength, toughness of 4, wounds 3, initiative 5, attacks 4, leadership 10, and a save of a 4 up. He is infantry character assassin light. His war gear, he's got a Nemesis blade, a needle spine blaster, and the panoply of the assassin, which again is his 4/4 save. He has Death's Artisan, Decapitation Strike, Fleet 2, Infiltrate, Scout, Support Squad, and Loyalist as his special rules.
Yeah,
So-
this is the more Snake Eyes looking guy.
Yes, he most definitely is.
This is more classic Snake Eyes and not the early 2000s classic
Right.
G.I. Joe Snake Eyes.
So we have with us his blade on his back is called the Nemesis blade. It's range dash +1 AP3 melee rending 5 up.
Okay,
That's a
Fairly-
pretty standard blade, like nothing special. I mean,
fairly respectable.
he's strength 4
5 is
base,
nice.
so we're talking strength 5.
He'll hold
Not
himself, against most standard Centurions.
Mm-hmm. And then he has the Needle Spine Blaster. Counts as a combi weapon, and a model can make a shooting attack with both primary and secondary components without needing the Firing X special rule.
Okay.
So he's got the Needle Spine Blaster, which is the primary, and the Bolt Blaster, which is the secondary. Both are pistol range of 12 inches. The Needle Spine Blaster is going to be strength 2. That is pistol 1, poison 2 up, and pinning. Respectable. That's a pretty good with that poison 2 up pinning. I like that. And then he's got the Bolt Blaster, which is a strength 4, AP 5, pistol 3. So it's just a burst fire bolter by the looks of it. Decapitation Strike, which is, as we saw here, a special rule. Okay, so this is another one that looks like a weapon, but is a special rule, like we saw in the previous one of the previous assassins, right? So it looks like that this is intended to be a special rule and not a weapon.
This one I think is definitely a special rule, because the text above it does call out how you use it. During any fight subphase, the controlling player of a model with this special rule may choose to have the model with the special rule make a single attack with the profile below instead of attacking normally.
Gotcha. Okay, so it specifically states that, where the other one does not. Okay. While using this option, the model with this special rule may not gain bonus attacks for charging additional weapons or from any other special rules. So Decapitation Strike, the range dash, Strength 2, AP 1, melee, unwieldy, Fleshbane, Murderous Strike 2 up.
That's
terrible.
But it's Fleshbane,
I think the Fleshbane, but unwieldy?
It is one attack and it is unwieldy.
It is unwieldy. That is true.
It might as well be encumbered, right?
It's one attack, which you have a 50% chance of missing, and you're not going to make the attack anyways because you're going to be dead before you swing.
I feel like instead of unwieldy, one use only would probably be a better choice. Or I think that would be a more fun way to use it. But that unwieldy, it's like, ugh.
Or give it a +2 weapon skill. Make them harder to hit during the setup.
Yeah.
And then make it more reliable to deliver.
He's then got the last rule here, Death's Artisan. When engaged in a challenge, a model with this special rule may choose to increase their weapon skill and initiative characteristics to match that of their opponents for the duration of the challenge. Additionally, a model with this character special rule must always issue challenges when engaged in combat with a unit that contains a model with the character unit subtype.
Sounds great, but like you said, unwieldy. Isn't going to make much of a difference.
Unwieldy, and he's already weapon skill 5, initiative 5. If you're using this, it's because, you're going up against a Beatstick Praetor or a Primarch.
Yeah.
In which case, either way, you're fucked.
You're done. As the line just dumps 7 attacks on you with... I'm sorry, they're both loyalists, so never mind.
I will say, if you can get him into combat, I feel like he's not a bad matchup against most Centurions.
Yeah.
Except champions.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be fighting the sergeants, and he'll be doing really well against the sergeants.
Mm-hmm.
Centurions, decent combat. There will be nervousness on both sides.
Yeah. They definitely want him to punch up, though, with that special rule of Death's Artisan.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have the kit to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing with the assassins, is it's not that they're terrible stat lines. It's not that they have terrible special rules. It's that they're too expensive for how risky they are to play, given that you can't protect them.
Not to mention,
they don't do what they're supposed to do in the fluff.
And not to mention, they take up a whole HQ slot.
Yeah.
Which is, in this game now, in this edition, feels like a very, very busy, 4 slot.
If I want to punch up against characters in melee,
I'll take a champion.
And it's going to do the job better because it's weapon skill 6 with a Paragon Blade.
Well, do you believe this is more focused at non-Astartes players then? But then I'm thinking, as a Mechanicum player, when would I need this?
Yeah. Most of the armies in the game are Astartes, so that's what they're targeting.
I can see this alongside Solar
Ox.
Ox,
Targeting that, but I'm talking about the counter being
Gotcha.
There are probably 4 other armies who don't have the same things Astartes do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really have snipers, right? So maybe bring a Vigilator for a Mechanica might, but
it might
still,
be a case.
I'm saying, I can't justify it. I mean, I would rather bring a Magos with a conversion beamer and have that guy be my sniper.
Yeah.
So, now that I think about it, as is, you raise a good point. And kind of like I mentioned earlier in the episode, we haven't seen the Forces of the War Master. This might be a type of thing where we're looking at a spy versus spy type of deal.
Oh, okay.
Which
Maybe.
is, I mean, then you're banking on the other opponent having Forces of the War Master. But then again, you would
It's
still
not
just
like
bring the
these guys are hard to
champion and just
kill. Yeah.
you still bring the champion and smash your opponent's assassin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really like the idea of this guy. He just
You know what
doesn't
I would have liked to
work.
see? I would have liked to see all the assassins at least have like a shrouded 5-up as well.
Yeah.
Just
something
baked
like
in, right?
Just a damage mitigation roll on top of their invuln and armor
In the
save.
unit type or in the
'Cause
war gear. Yeah.
Fuck it. It's a single model that can't join anything. Let her have a shrouded 4-up.
Yeah, without having to make a reaction for it.
Yeah.
Because they feel a little too weak for what they cost.
And the Cladodamus is another one that is completely reliant on that reaction to not get shot off the table.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one we have the Venium. The Venom Assassin, right?
Yeah.
Venom.
Jesse, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. People haven't heard my voice lately. I got a at 125 as always, movement of 7, weapon skill of 5, ballistic skill, strength, toughness of 4, 3 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks base, leadership of 10, and a 4-up. We have a Hook Fang War Gear, Toxin Ejector, Poison Globes, and Panoply of the Assassin. It is also a infantry unit with the character, assassin, and light subtypes. We have Infiltrate, Scout, Unnatural Conditioning, Support Squad, and Loyalist for its special rules. Let's look at Unnatural Conditioning. Models with this special rule are immune to the effects of the Radphage special rule and any other rules that negatively affect their toughness characteristic, such as rad grenades. Additionally, weapons with the Poisoned X special rule and or Fleshbane special rule may never wound a model with unnatural conditioning on a roll of better than 5-up. Yay!
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see this on some other units.
Super good against Death Guard. Super good against Death Guard, or
Put
like
it on a unit that isn't going to get shredded by boulders.
I'm kind of shocked. Like, so dreadnoughts are fucking stupid right now. I mean, I say that, but this is kind of more what I would have expected to see dreadnoughts have, as far as like basically forcing a higher roll for things like Fleshbane and Poison. It still feels weird wounding dreadnoughts on Fleshbane 2-up. Not going to lie.
But I mean, they force you to
re
reroll, don't they? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, reroll that 2-up.
Roll that
Reroll
2-up.
Yeah.
But this feels a little more alongside. But it's pretty handy for, when you go against your destroyer squadrons and other things of that nature.
Sure.
We got Poison Globes. Yeah, they're Venom Spheres. Why do they call them Poison Globes? Any unit attempting to make a charge against a unit with one or more models that have Poison Globes must re-roll the first successful roll when determining charge distance. I like that.
Sure.
Re-roll that charge that you were successful at.
Yeah.
It's good against me, I'll tell you that. I'll never...
Okay, so like
You'll never need to charge him.
Like you're going to put the poison guy like in front of your big block of tacticals, and he's going to eat the charge, right? And then your big tacticals are going to come in behind and save him.
That's right.
Like fucking no, they're going to shoot him to death, and he's not going to get to fucking use these little globes.
My globes.
Not my globes.
Just pondering my
my
globes. Toxin Ejector.
Lord.
Toxin Ejector.
Okay,
War Gear.
guns.
It's another template weapon, guys. It is
Yep.
Strength 5, AP 4, Assault 1, so you can charge with it. Poison 3-up, because Poison 3-up, come on.
Right.
And Rending 6-up. Okay. On a template weapon? Sure.
Yeah.
And then we got the Hook Fang for his dagger styled after the razor fang of a now extinct apex predator of Old Night. It is Strength User, AP 3, Melee, Poisoned 3-up, and has the special rule, the Venom. Spelled wrong.
It's actually
The Venom.
It's actually just an elephant tusk. He just keeps thinking they think it's an apex predator from Old Night, but it's just a fucking elephant tusk he rams people with. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Gorgeous people.
The Venom, Venem. If a model suffers one or more unsaved wounds from this weapon, the controlling player must roll a d6 at the beginning of every battle turn for the remainder of the battle. Wait, I have to? Or the controlling player? The controlling player of the model who suffered the wound, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
On a 5-up, the model suffers a wound against which no saves of any kind may be taken. Furthermore, any model which suffers one or more unsaved wounds from a weapon with the Venom special rule is considered to be destroyed for the purposes of missions which award victory points for killing models unless they possess the Eternal Warrior special rule.
So, like,
Not
you're
gonna lie.
poisoning them.
Yeah.
Not
That's
gonna lie,
cool.
this is kind of fun.
It's real cool. It's real fun.
I wish it was AP2 instead of 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my
'Cause-
gosh.
I like the idea of, tagging somebody with this and they are counted as dead.
At least make
But
them roll the invuln. Okay.
yeah, right.
Like, it's 3 again. Like,
Granted, it has 4
AP3.
attacks. 4 attacks.
Sure.
Poison 3-up. Hell of a
Who
roll.
is that?
Yeah.
Who is it killing, guys? That we care about? That
Okay.
count as dead.
So, a couple thoughts here. He is initiative 6, which is something maybe I'm not paying enough attention to on these guys.
That's fair.
At
They are
initiative
striking.
6, they are hitting first. So, he'll swing his 6 attacks. We assume he charges. 3 hits. Of those, 2 of them are going to wound. Of those 2, 1 will probably get through to inflict the venom.
On a 2-up save.
Um,
I'm not feeling it, but
yeah,
you got to be lucky. You got to be lucky.
That's right, because AP3.
Those 2-up saves.
Okay.
And there's
All
no
right,
rending.
AP3, what is that going to do? Mechanicum, Castellax. You're going to count as having killed that Castellax,
I don't
With
care
the,
about killing Castellax. I care about getting Slay the Warlord.
right? That's why you're bringing assassins, is to kill characters out. Not, or are you bringing assassins to assassinate things that they are? Like, I don't. Here's the thing, guys. Controversy opinions. I don't think assassins are all designed to kill characters. I think they are all designed to assassinate certain particular targets. This guy might be your anti-mech in a list where you don't have enough anti-mech.
Are robots not immune to poison?
No. You just have to reroll.
Bizarre.
Yeah. So that's what I mean.
Anyways. The place where I think this could be useful, other than getting Slay the Warlord, is if at some point we actually see demons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Demons traditionally have poor saves,
Also, I think
and a lot of wounds.
Do Solar Rocks get Artificer armor on their characters? Or are they stuck to a 4-up or something?
I think it's pretty rare.
I'm also not worried about how to kill Solar Ox characters, if I'm being honest.
I mean, it's possible, but
Yeah.
And
Just feel
if we're
very-
if we're going, the baseline is Space Marine characters, then no,
Yeah.
he's not good.
Yeah.
which
If we're expanding the catalog to the other myriad of armies, I think he has a place somewhere. We just aren't seeing it here.
the trick is that when you build your army, are you going to go with an assassin on the chance that you might go against one of the lesser used
Exactly,
armies?
right? No.
Or even in that case, why not just take, like we mentioned before, a champion with weapon skill 6 and
Right.
Paragon Blade?
I think you take assassins
Which, hey,
to shore
that-
up your shortcomings in your army. For me, my shortcoming is melee. So I would love to bring the Calidus, right? Who is super great at killing tactical Marines, because I'm not great at killing tactical Marines.
But why aren't you
in
just bringing a melee?
Because I don't have that model, but I got the 125 point model that cost me $35. That's why.
I guess the problem there is that the Calidus is going to do that once.
Yeah. I mean, I realize that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than my Castellax doing it 0. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason other than narrative, right?
For the same price, you could ally in 100, 100 points, so 10 despoilers, and they'll tear through a tactical squad for you.
You're probably right.
Not to mention also capture
I don't know, man. I'm
objectives.
just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I know.
I'm not trying to be the bad guy.
I really want to like these. Assassins are cool, and they are peak grimdark, Warhammer. I wish they just had a little bit more of push, or a little bit more of a bite.
More, right? We
do have one more.
Maybe this is our saving grace, right?
So yeah, this one's kind of in depth. I do think you're going to like it, Will. Do you want to read through all this, or do you want me to go through it?
If you've already read it, I will allow you to just give technical notes.
Okay.
So I'll do. All right. Let me do. When it comes to the rules, give us the shorts up. All right. So this is the Clade Vanis Infosite Assassin. Oh man, sounds like a hacker. All right.
Yes, it is.
We'll say it's one of the cooler looking models.
It's so cool.
A movement of 7, weapon, ballistic skill, strength, toughness of 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, attacks 3, leadership 10, 4 up, save 4 up invul. They are infantry, character, assassin light. They have the Auspectre or Auspector, 2 las pistols, 2 synaptic data spikes, box disruptor array, and automatic servo limbs. They are an independent character.
Errata note, they are not.
Okay. This is a Newsphere Interloper, Infiltrate, Scout, Support Squad, and Loyalist Special Rules. Excuse me one moment.
And they do have the panoply added to their war gear as well from the FAQ. So they do have that 4
in fact, get to have armor.
Okay, yes, that is missing from the list here. Okay. So give us the rundown. What does the Auspector do?
Okay, so first, so we can go into this positively, I'm going to say this is another assassin I do almost actually like. Because, like you said, not all assassins are about killing characters. And this one is not. This one is about, manipulating the data streams to destroy their opponents.
Okay. I like that.
It's a hacker who is going to screw with the enemy. Let's see, the Vox Disruptor and the Auspector. Enemy models cannot be deployed using the Infiltrate special rule within 18 inches of a model with an Auspector. In addition, when any enemy unit is deployed to the battlefield from reserves, a model with an Auspector may make the Interceptor advanced reaction without expending a point of the reactive player's reaction allotment. As usual, can't make more than one reaction with them. Can't exceed more than 3 reactions in a given phase. More interestingly, instead of using the profile of a weapon the model has, a model with the Auspector may instead make a leadership test. If the leadership test is passed, the controlling player may instead make a shooting attack with any defensive weapon available to any model with a vehicle unit type, both friendly or enemy, within 12 inches, that is in range and line of sight of the targeted model. If the leadership test is failed, the model may not make the Interceptor advanced reaction. So basically, the Auspector lets you intercept models coming on from reserve using a defensive weapon on a friendly or enemy vehicle.
Yeah, that's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
And
that's a pretty excellent piece of war gear.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It's a little bit of like so Cyberthurgy has an ability where you can hack a vehicle and shoot with its weapon. So it's definitely got that flavor in it. And that's fun. I like that.
Yes. Speaking of Mechanicum, we also have Newspheric Interloper. Instead of making a shooting attack, a model with a special rule may make a leadership test. If this test is passed, the controlling player may nominate a single enemy model within 12 inches that has the Automata type. This model immediately suffers D3 wounds with no armor saves or damage mitigation rolls allowed. If this reduces the model to 0 wounds, and it is removed as a casualty, the controlling player may nominate another model with the automata unit type within 18 inches of the model with this special rule. This model also suffers D3 wounds with no armor, saves, or damage mitigation rolls allowed. Regardless of the result of this dice roll, no further wounds may be allocated by this attack in any one shooting phase. If the leadership test is failed, the Vanus info site immediately suffers a single wound with no armor saves or damage mitigation rolls allowed, and there are no further effects.
It's effectively got New Sphere's psychic powers.
Wow.
Hack the robot, set its brain on fire.
Now, it can only do the jump once, if I heard that correctly and read that correctly, right?
Once per shooting phase.
Yep, once per shooting phase.
Okay. That's pretty fucking stellar, dude, to kill 2 automata for the price of 1 like that.
Yeah.
There's an automaton with 1 wound on it. You just fucking nuke it, and then you hope you can nuke the idiot standing next to it.
Also, think about using this as a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or just,
No shit, you're right.
Yeah, instead of making a shooting attack. Yeah. So,
as a reaction, you really want to do the displacement, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you die.
More likely than not.
Yeah. That's not a bad point. I also want to review the Vox Disruptor array, because that is the last important trio of its
real quick. I do also want to say
information warfare suit.
About this new spheric thing. It's just 12 inches, right? It doesn't say line of sight. 12 inches
Correct.
and automata type. Wow. Okay. Super fuck you to all the Castellax, my man. That's good. Okay. Solid.
All right. Well, apparently the Vox Disruptor array is not in this book. But that's okay.
Did they put it in the errata? Or are they relying on you to have the core rule book?
I think they're relying on you to have the Astartes book.
Wait,
Yeah. Not great. Either that or I'm just blind.
Well, this is the one that allows you to, turn it on or off each turn to make a disordered deep strike on a 1, 2, or 3 instead of a 1, if I recall.
Correct. Majorly fucks with deep strike armies.
Yeah.
And that all master signals have that?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Here's it. So this is the FAQ'd Vox Disruptor array. At the start of each game turn, you can declare whether each VDA in your army is turned on or turned off. While there is at least one model on the battlefield with the VDA turned on, regardless of whether that model is friendly or enemy, any attempt to perform a deep strike assault, drop pod assault, area denial drop, or subterranean assault during that turn is disordered on a roll of 1, 2, or 3 instead of a 1. Which is pretty significant.
Yes.
Disordered displacement is very rough.
Speaking as a Hammerfall veteran, yes.
Yeah, you might as well.
It's not.
You might as well turn
over,
it in.
But it's not quite that bad, but it's very rough and throws off your entire plan.
Yeah.
And that's the core of what the Vanus is doing, is those 3 abilities to just fuck with your opponent.
Yep. I like it. I do like it.
That being said, if they do get into melee, they do have some fun weapons here.
Those are really nice.
Yeah. Sympathetic data spikes, of which they have 2, it's worth noting.
Yeah, sympathetic. There's nothing sympathetic about these guys.
Sympathetic, you're right.
Yes. We care about you. Stab!
They are specialist weapons, but you do have 2 of them, so extra attack. Strength +2, bring us to a total of 6. AP3, melee, rending 4 up, haywire, specialist weapon.
Yeah, you are jamming these
solid.
things. You are jamming these things into Castellax.
Yeah. You're getting haywire, so you're making them re-roll, or what is it, 5s and 6s are going to auto wound. Pachow. AP3, they're not getting their armor save.
Nope.
You're strong enough to where you're wounding them on 4s. My guys, this is it. And look, you're rending 4 too, so fuck.
Yep.
She is. Please, y'all, do not include this in your list.
I think this is probably my favorite.
Do it.
This is my favorite. I think I might grab one of these.
You know what? I might include it in a mech list in case I have to fight other mech. This is that good. She's good.
And she looks cool enough to where she'll fit in with there too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So the Venice also does have a survival mechanism beyond the reaction.
Okay.
Once per battle. This is the automatic servo limbs. Once per battle, at the start of any turn, the controlling player of a model with automatic servo limbs may choose to grant that model the hit and run special rule until the start of their turn.
Okay.
So, hit and run.
She can go in there, kill a couple Castellax, run out, shoot the remainders that she didn't kill. That'll then suffer D3 and die, and then she'll charge back in and fuck them up again.
And she's initiative 5.
Yeah. That's the point I was trying to think too, because we did overlook that a little bit with the initiative, but I still don't think it's going to matter for some things.
I don't think it matters for a lot of them, because a lot of them, the problem is damage output. They just can't kill something.
Being able to land those hits by going first. But this will tear through Castellax and mech in general, I think.
Yes.
And would be a very fun addition. I think out of all these, I think I would probably take one of these just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
It is also undisputable fact, and I will not be taking notes on this, that the Venice is just the coolest one. It's the coolest
visually,
concept.
for sure.
And the model is gorgeous. It's one that I would love to have. I haven't quite been able to justify buying that Forge World resin for it, but
you'd consider it.
Yeah. If I was going to buy one of these from Games Workshop or Forge World, it would be this one.
I think so too. I like her aesthetically, and these rules bringing more to the table other than just like I can fight well is really appreciated. So for me, I think it would be between her or the Calidus for that fear bubble.
Yeah, particularly since the assassins can't fight all that well.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. The Venice, though, you can at least hide in a building somewhere, and then if someone comes around the corner to shoot her, you can shunt her 10 inches. Keep her alive that way.
And if you don't have a deep striking army, it's perfect defense against ones who do.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's really an issue. I mean, I have for my Mechanicum, I really don't have much to stop people from deep striking on me. I have 3 augury scanners, and that's it. And then my automata can't react with those augury scanners. So, having something to at least hinder somebody's deep strike would be great. So yeah, not bad, folks. Not bad, but not spectacular either.
Yeah.
I'm interested what listeners think, if they plan to include any. I've never seen an assassin in the wild. I don't think we will.
Well,
I'll never say never.
I do have a converted Vindicare that I might bring out at some point just to test my theory that my Vigilator will do more.
I would do a narrative list or a narrative event sort of deal where everybody gets to bring one assassin for free once the traitor assassins come out, right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have
everybody just gets a free 125-point model that they can do whatever with.
Yeah.
Be cool to have like a deck of cards and you just shuffle and just hand a card with the logo of the different clades. Like this is
that'd be fun.
Yeah, because I think it was a couple of years ago, but I think Dave ran a narrative
he had a
event
bunch of
with assassins, and each one had like a specific rule and some. They basically used the 6th
and
or 7th
missions
edition
and stuff
rules.
too. Yeah,
which that was really neat.
I also have a Evisor converted up that I might bring out for Zone Mortalis.
Yeah.
That could be nasty.
Yeah. I had the old Execution Force board game. I have the Vindicari painted up. I should get the others squared away too.
Sure. Just get them all just to have them as a collector's series, right? Just be nice to have all 7 of them.
Assassins are cool.
Yeah.
It's a shame the rules aren't, but they are cool. And I'd love to see them out there.
I would love to see some sort of like Execution Force style detachment. But maybe in the future. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that we see like additional options and more gear in the future, kind of like how Titanicus works, where they'll like, here's more stuff you can use for your things.
That'd be nice. Before we close the rule books, I do have one other thing I want to mention. Because this is a weird one. And I think it's another place where whoever's doing the editing just dropped the ball a little bit. Because on page 136, there's a special rule.
Oh, yeah.
The Shadow of Death. The fluff reads...
page 136, right?
136. The Shadow of Death. The fluff reads... The Divisio Assassinorum deploys assassins from specific clades with the goal of eliminating specific individuals within certain war zones. The specific reasons for these pinpoint strikes are often unclear. It is speculated that those behind the veil of the Assassinorum rely on superlative intelligence networks to determine that these eliminations are not in censure of acts already carried out, but as a preemptive strike to prevent what the Divisio has decided to be unhelpful to the greater goals of the Great Crusade. The mechanics read, in missions which the controlling player scores victory points for destroying models or units with the character subtype, a Primarch type, or independent character special rules, the controlling player scores an additional +1 victory point if an attack made by a model with the assassin subtype reduces an enemy model with the character subtype, Primarch type, or independent character special rule to 0 wounds. Basically, an extra victory point for killing characters, Primarchs, independent characters.
Okay, so that null and voids everything I said about maybe some of these assassins are meant to kill other things than characters, because they clearly want you to kill characters.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
That special rule does not show up anywhere else. There are no models with this special rule. It's not part of the faction special rules.
Yeah, it doesn't show up in the Divisio Assassinorum.
It's not just like a new core rule added or anything like that? That's just
no, this is under special rules.
So it would have to be on the model to be used?
Yep.
Yep, because the Shadow of Death doesn't even necessarily spell out assassin characters.
Mm-hmm. It implies it. It doesn't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You're right. What? Okay. So the FAQ fixed that, right?
No.
Not this time around.
The FAQ did address this and change Primarch subtype to Primarch type.
Oh, good. Thank God. I fixed that.
Fucking right. So yeah,
Glad
no
they
idea
caught
what to think of the Shadow of Death, but it's there. It's in the book. No idea what it applies to, how it applies, when it applies, but it is there.
We can make an assumption, but
Right.
if you get someone with a crawl up their butt, they're gonna.
And
I read this as this is definitely something that just all assassins have by default.
It
but
would
it
make
doesn't-
sense, right?
But
or
it
any
is not-
mission that an assassin is played in, this rule should be applied to,
Potentially,
sort of thing, right?
it wouldn't
Now,
surprise me if that was a thing, but also Evisaurs aren't really about killing characters. Dennis really aren't really about killing characters.
The data lady definitely is.
Now, so that being said, with this rule, if we make the assumption that all assassins have it,
Sure.
does that? I feel like that helps justify their cost and maybe some of what some of the underbuff, because
see
you
what
are
you're
getting
saying,
an extra victory point. But I don't know.
The thing is, it would justify it if the assassins had any chance of actually killing their targets, which I'm not convinced they do.
I feel like, so what I would like to see, like I mentioned, potentially a shrouded save or a feel no pain, depending on what type of assassin you have.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
And honestly, like, even if we had like supercharged or like buffed up weapons, make them one use only. I like the idea of, if you're striking from the shadows, if you're going for the crown, you best not miss. And I think that would be really thematic and cool. Like maybe the Vendicari has a one use only shot. He's got to take it. If he misses, well, then you kind of screwed up. But it would feel thematic.
Or you're saying like on a 2+, you get this thing is going to kill this dude.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you
Like
have nothing else for the you got the pistol for the rest of the game because you brought just one bullet. Yeah.
His rifle has a demolisher cannon, bullet, just one use only that hits like a demolisher cannon, like brutal 3-up AP 2, Strength 10, but it's one use only.
Right.
So here's another thought. Take some inspiration from the old Knight Errant rules. And at the beginning of the game, you look at your opponent's army, and you pick out a character or independent character in the army, and your assassins now have that character as a target. You get additional rules based on that. So they are against everything else, but against that one character, they can kill them.
That's true too.
Okay, guys, I do want to make one point here, right? It's kind of like a two-parter. First part, how many missions actually require you to destroy characters?
I don't know of any.
Right? But this says, I'm going back to Shadow of Death, right? In missions which the controlling player scores victory points for destroying models or units with the character subtype. So you can either destroy models with character subtype, Primarch, or independent character subtype. But again, like we said, there's not many missions where you have to destroy characters.
Technically, slay the warlord. I guess might technically count for that.
But there are like custom missions, right, or something like that, where this narratively could lean into it. Sure. But then I'm looking at this, and this just says character. So you could just real quick with the sniper dude pop out the sergeant and be like, "Bam! There's my victory point." Right?
It's true.
That's true.
So I don't know.
Maybe it's setting up for a future.
Just pop out all the sergeants.
Maybe
where it says like this. Maybe it will be like a mission special rule in the future.
Possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
For like a
But right now, with narrative. It not being on a unit and it being just a special rule that they've created and now sits in a book but has no purpose, really, what can we do, I guess?
To be honest, while I feel like it's intended, I feel like I wouldn't try to convince my opponent that I would get that. Yeah. Because I really, at this point, don't legally have a leg to stand on with that.
Look, it would not surprise me, but neither am I confident enough to defend it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a little Easter egg of things to come. Yeah. But we'll see. Like I said, I hope we get to see additional war gear and options for the assassins.
Yeah.
As is a little underwhelming, but I would like to see some more stuff for them in the future.
Right.
Well, I will also say that when I played 40K, I was a big fan of Agents of the Imperium and Inquisition and such, and so I'd watch Assassins, and they've just kind of always been underwhelming.
Right.
It's always the exact problem that Jesse says. If they're what they should be, they should one-shot the enemy warlord.
Right.
But that sucks to play against.
Right.
So.
It's that balance. Like a one-man army sounds fun until you start to play against that one-man army.
Right. One of my first 40K quote tournaments, and one of my first few that I actually played, was at Dragon's Den. And it was Casey, and he brought 7 assassins in a list of 2,000 points or something like that.
Yeah,
love that.
And that was his whole army, and table turn 1 because, again, assassins were not one-man armies.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing it, and that was like my first time meeting Casey. I was like, holy shit, this dude's got all assassins. This guy's going to fuck this opponent up. I was like, Casey's going to table this guy. These are assassins.
Where's Casey going? Why is he walking out the door?
I did not know rules at the time, so I was like, oh, man. Ooh. But yeah, assassins, man, they're cool, but I just feel like I like the idea of narratively using it like Dave did, where he assigned assassins to people, right?
Yep.
So that's cool.
So they're something else. So if I were to try and make them fun to use, I think what I do is custom mission, where one side is trying to defend a planetary governor or something. Someone with a real shit stat line. And then the other side has an assassin. And then the two armies are duking it out. And the assassin is trying to get through the battle to get that one guy.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. Yeah, definitely give it purpose for sure.
Yeah.
Just one little planetary governor, but have like a fucking rule on the guy that says, like, piss your pants, and he just goes down to weapon skill 1 if the assassin gets in melee combat with him.
Or something fun. I don't know. Or have them be able to, like, I don't know, like a special rule. I don't know how well balanced this would be, but sort of like infiltrate, but it would be infiltrate on a turn 2. Something like that.
Be interesting. Yeah.
I like the idea of the melee ones. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was thinking like deep strike, but deep striking or for the assassins, a single model, it would be a bad day when you throw your guy out in the middle of the
deep strike without the being able to be intercepted of deep strike would be great, right?
Yeah.
Having deep strike and then having that rule that says you can't shoot at this unless it's made a shot at you, I think would be a good tandem thing.
Yeah. But, so that's the assassins, and I think we're going to be wrapping up here real soon. But once again, thanks for listening to the Remembrancers Retreat. If you enjoy our program, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at RR30K Podcast. You can visit our website, rr30k.com. Shoot us a message. Tell us what you think. If you think we're completely wrong, reply. Let us know. I'm
Where
really
are you
curious.
going to use an assassin? Are you planning to use assassins? I don't know.
If you agree with us, let us know too. Curious. Be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts.
If you disagree with us, you fuck off. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. No.
You can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Until then, keep those dice rolling, and bye for now.
Bye.